Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And if you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel. So in today's video, we're gonna be running over everything that we need to get done for Rocky Mountain Race Week. So as of right now, it is Tuesday the 10th. We need to be leaving Casper either Thursday night or Friday morning for Rocky Mountain Race Week. It is almost 20 hours to get from here to where me and Ryder are going. But we have some bad news right now. And we need to figure out if we can even get this repaired and taken care of, or if we're just going to be kind of, peeing in the wind type of situation. So I'll kind of show you guys what we're going through here. So I've got the car completely tuned. Well, I'm going to say completely tuned. I had it on E85 first. We drove around for a little bit. I got the tune really dialed in for E85. We were making about 14 pounds on the wastegate. Everything was really good. Me and Ryder were driving to the Windy City No Prep on Saturday and just kind of test driving the car, and something really bad happened. I forgot to put diff fluid in the rear end. My mistake, my bad, I'm an idiot. We're building just so much. There's no excuse. I just forgot to do it. So we were driving, we were on the interstate, and I heard a squeak. And then right after that, the rear end started growling real bad. So most likely everything got hot, and we either spun a bearing race or spun a bearing inside that rear end. It is growling like crazy now. The tolerances are probably all off. So I have a couple options. Option number one is I have another rear end over there that has 3 nines in it. I'm not sure of the, I don't know, not what you want to say, quality or whatever. So we need to maybe swap that one out for this one. There isn't a lot of changes that we'll have to do to swap that out. That'll at least get us a rear end in there. Number 2 issue, and this is a big one. At first, I thought it was, I'll show you. On these RBs, there's an upgrade that you can do right back down here. See that little black box right there with the AN line coming out of it? That is a oil drain back for the head. These RBs, they have a problem with oil drain back. So when we originally built this engine, we did things to compensate for that. So we put oil restrictors in the head, and then we put that drain back down in there. So I had a bunch of oil dripping off the transmission, kind of running down the side, dripping off. I was for sure that it was the oil drain back. It was just a little bit loose. So I cleaned it all up yesterday, tightened that AN line, and figured we were good to go. We're not. Let me see if I can show you down here. Crawl onto the ground here. See that puddle right there? And it is coming off the transmission. So when I had it in the air, you could see that it is coming out of the bell housing pretty much. Transmission's gonna have to come back out. We gotta get that thing out. I don't want all that gear oil flicking all over that brand new clutch. And so on that note, those are our 2 big hurdles at the very moment. We've got, like I said, 3 days to get all this done. The car is going into the wrap shop tomorrow. I hadn't talked about this with you guys. We are doing some really cool wrap on this car. So me and Casey are going to take it over to his house tonight, and we just need to sand out some chips and things like that. The reason I'm wrapping this car is that the paint is in low condition as far as that goes. We've got stuff messed up here on the quarter. So ultimately, I'm just using the wrap for a Band-Aid. I want it to look good and things like that, and we're just going to cover up all the flaws and stuff with the wrap. So I need to get that done tonight. When Casey cut off the rear spoiler that they had on there, come to find out the reason they put that spoiler on is because we must have had some cancer up in here, and it messed up that rear piece pretty bad. So that needs to be repaired properly. I do not want to screw up this Series 1 deck lid. So I had another spare parts car out back of my house, so I went and took the deck lid off that one. The reason I really like this one is it has dual shock struts there to hold the thing up. Series 1 and the early Series 2s, they only had one strut right here on the driver's side. So as you shut it, it would always make the hatch kind of sit higher on this side than it does the other side. Because it would just pressure up on that one side, and I didn't like that. Plus, it has a hard time holding itself up. So in the later models, they put the 2 straps on there, or shocks on there, to help hold the hatch up. So that is another bonus of having this hatch over this one, for now at least. Like I said, we're just going to use this hatch so we can wrap it up. I am going to put the louvers back on this hatch, and I'm probably going to put the little duckbill on this hatch because it's got some crap on there, I may just give it a quick sand and just spray a little primer on there so that the wrap has something better to stick to, so that way Timmy's stuff doesn't look bad as far as that goes. They do really quality work, but they can only do what they can do when you send them crap stuff. So on that note, we need to get the car ready for wrap because it goes there first thing in the morning. So, which puts us even a little bit further out. He only needs the car for one day. He's going to start wiping it down, clean it up, and then get it wrapped up real quick. So they're really good at what they do. They're fast at what they do. Blah, blah, blah. So, trains. On that note, that gives us probably Thursday to get the rest of our stuff done. Maybe Friday morning if we need to. So we're just going to get started. I'm going to get this hatch swapped over and things that I can get done in the morning before our first customers show up. And then, gosh, dang that train. And then all the same, I need to get more tuning done on the pump gas. I did finally put pump gas into this. We do have one fuel leak. That was another problem. Right where the sending unit goes inside the fuel cell, it is leaking all around that, like maybe a bad O-ring. The sending unit is a little off anyway on the gauges, so I may just order a new one and try to fill that one up for now, and then when we get the new one, swap it over. So anyway, that is enough talking. We're going to go ahead and just get started swapping this thing over, and hopefully we make it, guys. We're about 3 days out. We are trying our best. We got the hatch put on there. They're super simple to swap over. It is just 4 Phillips head screws right there and right there, 2 on each side, and you're good to go. Like I said, they only have a strut provision on one side, so we've got the one strut bolted up. I have the other one just kind of sitting over here. I'm gonna have to go cut the one out of the other car, and then we'll have to weld it in right in here somewhere, and then we'll be able to attach that. That is not a necessity though to get us to Rocky Mountain Race Week, so we can always take that one off for now, all whatever, you know. But that is something for in the future that we do want on this car, because it's gonna make it just a little bit more I'm gonna say driver friendly, but just user friendly when you're driving your car around, going to Walmart, picking up groceries, when the hatch will hold itself up and all that good stuff. So anyway, we got that point. I need to get some holes drilled in here. We are gonna put Wasabi's little duckbill wing on this car. So it's really cool when they make these wings. They make them right where the little hole provisions are. I'm not exactly sure what these were for originally, but they're there. I know in the Series 1, they actually used them for the vents. They are actually functional vents there, so it goes down there, and then the holes come through there. So on the newer ones, I'm not sure what they put them there for, but it is nice. You just pull that little grommet out, drill a hole there and there, and you're good to go. So I always drill my hole just a little bit bigger than the bolt, so that way you have some adjustability back and forth and then side to side, stuff like that. So it is really, really simple. I put the wing on there just about where I want it. I'm just going to take a Sharpie and kind of mark around there, and then we'll drill holes down through and bolt it on. This is one of the probably the most simplest wings to install known to man. If I'm gonna claim it, I'm gonna go ahead and claim that one. As you take a look at that beauty right there, I am always in love with these duckbills. There is a new one online that I saw about a year or two ago that I really, really want. I can't remember who it's by, and it's kind of hard to get. It almost looks like the duckbill, but it kind of comes back this way a little more, and then it has like a dip down in the center. I thought it looked really good. It's about $300-400, maybe $500 if you want it in the carbon fiber, which I would. Thinking about that in the future to kind of just pretty this thing up. Hopefully it'll go in the same exact holes that we drilled for this one. I'm assuming they'll build it the same way. These loud ass trucks. Yeah, hopefully they'll fit in the same exact holes, and then it would be an easy swap over as far as that goes. But until then, I do love myself just a little duckbill. That thing is looking good. I think it'll look good. I've never had the duckbill and the louvers on the vehicle at the same time, so I'm not sure quite how it look. I've always ran a duckbill, and I've always had that little like wing that comes off the back of the 240 on Wasabi. I think those look really cool. They're hard to kind of get the stuck on there and stuff, but one thing I really like about the louvers is the privacy, a little bit of the looks. It's kind of old school look to me, but the privacy and the heat. So I am going to tint this window. We'll get that all tinted up and make sure the heat's not coming in. We'll just murder that thing out. And then we'll put the louvers over. The louvers block the sun, and then the window tint should block the heat. Keep the car a little bit cooler if we can. And we'll just see what it does as far as that goes. We're going to go over to Casey's tonight and get these the hatch and that all sanded up. And there's a little chip right there in the door we're going to smooth out. So that way Timmy's wrap can adhere a little bit better. Like I told him, it's only going to last 1 year. Our ultimate goal is we are going to eventually paint this car. It is a Series 1. It deserves to be beautiful. So on that note, eventually we'll get there. But for now, we're just slapping a Band-Aid on her. It is now the next morning. Me and Casey worked on the thing last night. I didn't get no video of it. I forgot my tripod and things like that. And we were kind of just on the move getting it done. So we went ahead, got the hatch sanded, all the little chips. The old hatch, the hinge is actually broken on the passenger side. So every time you lift it, the hatch would catch right here really, really bad, and it was just chipping up the paint real bad, and it started kind of denting the roof and things like that. So that's something that's got to be addressed in the future. But as for now, we just wanted to make sure the chips were all sanded out so the wrap would adhere well. So we got the couple things down there and the hatch and that, because this thing, it wasn't actually rust. It was like an oxide primer. You can still see a little bit of it on the key lock there. But so now what I need to do this morning is I need to pull off the tail valance there. We need to pull off the marker lights, get the emblems off if we can, possibly the driver mirror, and I'm going to try to pull this hatch lock too so he can wrap around that. I believe that is it. That is all we need to pull off of this car. So I'm going to pull all that stuff off, and then I just need to take some like 2000 grit and wet sand down the primer. The primer itself is really, really smooth, but on your dry edges where you soft edge or soft line the tape up here, you can hear it. Little gritty, so I'm just going to wet sand a little bit of that off so everything is nice and smooth so he has a good surface to adhere his wrap to. So other than that, let's go ahead and get that done so we can go drop it off. It is 8 o'clock now. I want to have it over to him by 9 this morning because I got a full day on my plate here, so I can't be doing it during the day. Plus, he's waiting on us. She is all washed up, dried up, sand up, ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and run this over to Timmy's shop so they can go ahead and get started. If you guys are even in the Wyoming area, not just Casper, but in the Wyoming area, and you want the baddest dude to wrap your cars, you need to get a hold of Timmy and Kyle over at Pro Films of Casper. The guy has been in business forever. They know what they're doing. It isn't like a shop that just started up a couple years ago and say they're the best in the business. That's a joke. These guys are the real deal. They do tons of awesome, crazy stuff. So definitely go check them out and support our local businesses if you can. So other than that, we're gonna go drop this bad boy off. You guys don't need to see that. I think this is gonna be the end of the video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff if you're enjoying watching these videos. And we'll see you in the next one with this thing all done up.